The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Welcome to Chef Eric's Cookin' with local gourmet chef Eric Braun. A new kind of cooking show where the chef doesn't cook anything at all. That's right, folks, the studio audience does the cooking. Throw in some wine pairings and food tastings and you've got something really exciting. And now, give it up for Chef Eric.
Good evening, welcome. We got a full house tonight. Full house tonight. Glad everyone's here. As usual, I always tell everybody that you'll know what we're going to be cooking today, or what I'm not going to be cooking today, by the backdrop. So any ideas? Halloween. I heard Halloween around there. Yes, we're going to be cooking we're going to be making a jack-o'-lantern veggie tray. We're going to be making a vampire blood soup with eyeballs. Real eyeballs, yes. And then we're going to be doing a tombstone pudding. So all that is part of our Halloween show tonight. So I want to take just a moment to have all of you think in the back of your mind, what was your most interesting Halloween memory? And while you're thinking about that, we've got 3 volunteers. Well, 1 volunteered. The other 2 were corralled. Going to be coming up and doing some cooking for us today. So when they come up, I'm going to be asking you what your most unique Halloween memory is. So I'll tell you what mine is. I have 2. We routinely went trick-or-treating back in the 60s and 70s when I was a child. And routinely, my mother would make us wear long underwear underneath our Halloween costumes because it was so doggone cold. And routinely, it would be snowing while we were Halloweening. So that's one of my memories. The other memory is my brother and I and my younger brother, Christopher, would all come home with all of our trick-or-treat stuff. And Christopher and I would eat our stuff in about, a week, 5 days maybe. But my older brother, Byron, never did that. He held on to his Halloween candy forever and ever and ever, and would routinely, 6, 7, 8 months after Halloween, be sitting watching a football game, gnarling on Halloween candy, teasing us to death. And to this day, I will always remember that. So think about what your memory is, and let's have our first volunteer to come up. Let's give a round of applause for Chuck Blevins. Hi, Chuck.
Hi there.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Have I cooked for you before?
Yes, several times.
Several times, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yes. There seems to be a correlation between me cooking for people and them coming on the show. We will have a bit of a change of that tonight, though. So we're going to be making a jack-o'-lantern carrot veggie tray. So if you look over there, grab your carrot tray right back there, the big one. We've gathered everything up for you. I'm going to lie a little bit. I have done a little cooking. I prepped a little. Yeah, right there is fine. So what we're going to do first is, you see those ramekins right there? Mm-hmm. So let's fill them with some French onion dip. These are going to be the eyes of the jack-o'-lantern. And before you do anything else, we need you to sanitize your hands. Camera, you didn't tell me to sanitize his hands. You're supposed to do that. Can you go up and down, please? No, the camera. Up and down, please. Okay. All right, so that's one eyeball. Let's put that eyeball right there. Let's do the other eyeball. And this stuff is really fun for parties. I know Chuck, for many, many years in a row, held a Halloween party, and brain salads and all that kind of stuff. So let's take the third one. Let's make that the nose. Place that right there. On the internet, it's inundated with all kinds of Halloween goodie ideas. So now, let's grab the cucumbers that are in there, and let's place the cucumbers, Chuck, right down here in a haphazard fashion to be the jack-o'-lantern's teeth, the jagged teeth. Now, when you're doing that, Chuck, you need to look at the camera. Right there. You need to kind of smile. And what you want to do is, while you're doing this, since this is a Halloween show, you need to go, can you do that? Good. Maybe a little deeper, though. Can you do that? Kind of comes from the... Okay. Let's give Chuck a round of applause for that. Can't wait to hear cook number 2 and number 3 do that. That's going to be fun. Okay. So that's like a good mouth. So let's grab our carrots. Chuck is a chef, so he's a good friend of mine. And so I don't need to tell you, Chuck, what to do with these carrots, do I?
I think we're just going to kind of place them around the middle here.
That's going to be the jack-o'-lantern. Well, we got to worry about the water now, don't we?
There's a flood.
These are all. That's all right. It'll be all right.
All right.
These are all pre-washed. So arrange that around. And what's really cool is what we're going to do with the lid of the jack-o'-lantern.
All 3 of these,
Yep.
Chef?
Mm-hmm. Got to spread them around. There's no rhyme or reason to what you're doing here. You just want it to kind of look like a jack-o'-lantern. And then, of course, the eyes are the French onion dip. And just like on all the cooking shows you see, and I really don't like this as a chef, I don't, well, you can use ranch dip, you can do this, you can do that if you're more comfortable with that. I really don't like doing that. But if you wanted to use ranch dip or something else, you could. I always say to myself, well, if you're putting French onion dip in there, why are you telling them to do something else? But the real reason behind that is the audience wants to feel like they're involved and they can let's put some more cucumbers in there, a little more teeth. It's looking good. Now, what do you think we're going to do for the head? What do you think, Chuck? Any ideas?
Broccoli, maybe?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Broccoli. Yeah, that's the ticket, broccoli. So why don't you go ahead and remember the compulsive liar from Saturday Night Live? Yeah, that's it. My cousin, Madonna. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, I don't even do not need to know to tell you what to do, but let's do one thing. Let's turn it around. Now, upstairs camera, are we okay? We all right up there? Okay. Where is the upstairs camera? There it is. Thank you. So put the head on. Cut it on the bias. Goes right there.
Like this,
Uh-huh.
Chef?
Yep. Let's go ahead and put it right underneath.
Underneath?
Yep.
Nice.
And there you have it. A jack-o'-lantern carrot tray. What do you think? Excellent. Let's give Chuck a round of applause for coming up. Chuck, take that with you and put it on the buffet, please. And we're going to be bringing up our next person in just a few minutes. Just right over there, Chuck. Be fine. Oh, the water's coming. The water's coming. Those carrots were organic and they were literally washed by me, so that's where the water came from. So now we're going to move on to our second item. And I said it's going to be vampire blood soup with eyeballs. So does anybody have any idea what that might be? Any thoughts on what that might be? Maybe like a gazpacho soup, blood soup, gazpacho, vegetable. And then maybe the eyeballs. What do you think maybe the eyeballs might be? Well, I've got some good ideas on what the eyeballs are because I'm going to be making them with my cook. So mozzarella cheese balls sure look like a nice eyeball last time I checked. And let's see, maybe something to mimic the pupil. That would also be very fun, something to mimic the pupil. So this is going to be something that can be served not only at a Halloween party, but this is something you can do at like a dinner party too. So let's give Barb Yale Collins a round of applause, please. She's up next. Hello. How are you, dear?
Good, thank you.
Barb and I went to high school together. We went to college together, and we're very old, good friends. And I had the privilege of crowning her the prom queen at our high school prom in 1977. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Long time.
Long time ago. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to forget the sanitation this time. And then that's the camera. Hi. Right there. There's the camera. Okay. All right. So we're making vampire soup.
All right, vampire
Now
soup.
look at this. You don't have to do any cutting at all.
Good. That's good.
Is that a good thing?
That's
Is
a
that
very good thing.
All right, so we're just going to, what we have here, well, you tell the audience what we have here.
Well, looks like we have some peppers, some onions, some salsa, some red onions, some cilantro,
Cilantro.
and
that's a roasted salsa that I
roasted
did.
salsa.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's just start dumping all this in. I did cut this, but not today. I cut it last night, so I didn't do any cooking today. I want you all to know that. So let's put the red pepper, the green peppers in.
Okay.
And that's a really good thing about cooking. You know, if you're going to be cooking all day on one day for a dinner party, keep dumping the kiddo.
Everything.
You're in.
Okay.
White onions, just say it out loud while I'm talking.
Onions.
Mixed onions with pico de gallo and peppers.
Good stuff.
You can prep this stuff in advance, and a lot of folks really stress out on dinner parties. I got to cook everything the day of the and then they're exhausted. Don't be afraid to start 2, 3, 4 days ahead of time when you're cooking. Now this is a roasted salsa that I made with roasted red peppers.
Lovely.
Dump it in there, excellent. And then we have some diced tomatoes there. And then we have some V8 spicy. Oh, we better shake that first.
That's a good idea.
Get it,
Is that
get
the
it
blood?
going. This is the blood.
Okay.
This is the blood. So I'll let you pour that in. And stop where you think it's going to be soupy enough.
Okay.
You want to stir it maybe first and see where, make a judgment call. What I always tell cooks when they're cooking is always underdo everything. Under season, undercook, under mayonnaise, under Parmesan, whatever you're doing, and you always can add more. If you add everything at the first time, right up front, you can't take it back. So always under season. What do you think there, Barb?
I think it looks excellent.
You like that?
It looks beautiful.
Okay, very good. So let's slide this over to this way. Now you're going to make your eyeball. What do you think that's? We talked about it, didn't we? So let's open that up.
Yeah. Some mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Oh,
There's already one there.
there's a good eyeball.
But we're gonna have you're gonna do one.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and take the eyeball out that I made for you.
Okay.
And get the. Wow. I had a knife up here. This is my knife.
No cutting.
This is my friend right here.
No cutting.
My knife. Yeah, just take the olives and put them there.
Okay.
Those are the eyeballs. And then let's take the prosciutto ham and lay it right there. There you go. Prosciutto ham is so hard to work with. Sometimes I just dread working with it. But after a while, you're doing fine. It's
Okay.
great. All right, so what I want you to do now is take the mozzarella here. And then just take your knife and just kind of cut out a circle like I did there, enough for that eyeball to go in.
Oh,
Yeah, just cut a little bit up.
just in this?
Yeah, when you're doing it, look up. Can you look up?
No, no.
You can't look
No,
up?
not when
Hello?
not when I've got
Hello,
a knife.
upstairs
not
camera.
not when I got a knife.
Hello. Yoo-hoo. There it is, right there.
Okay.
Maybe just a little
A
deeper
little
on the
more.
cut there.
Okay.
Those olives are kind of big. And you could use black olives, you could use green olives, you could use Colombo olives, whatever you want.
Okay.
All right, then, what do you think you're going to do next, kiddo?
Stick an eyeball in
Stick
there.
an eyeball in there. That's right. And then let's put it on in the middle of the prosciutto. Now, here's the camera right
Yes.
there. So grab the prosciutto and wrap it up around so it sticks to the mozzarella. Keep touching, massaging. Okay, good. Excellent.
Okay.
Now we're going to eat. You didn't think I was going to let you get off that easy, did you? So here's the presentation. Go ahead and take your ladle and ladle up a nice bowl of soup.
So you serve it cold?
Oh yeah, this is cold gazpacho. Could we have the upscale again, camera? So put that there. Then put the eyeball right in the middle of the soup. And there, folks, is your eyeball vampire blood soup, right there.
Lovely.
Gazpacho with an eyeball. Now I want you to taste it,
Okay.
please. Tell me what you think.
Do I get a little eyeball too?
Yeah, of course. That's the best part is the tasting. See, right there, you gotta go.
Very fresh. Very good.
Yeah, the cilantro is perfect, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic.
Delicious.
Okay, let's give Barb a round of applause, please. Excellent work. Now, Barb, if you would take that over to the buffet,
Sure.
we would appreciate it. I wanted to I'd like to have everybody taste their stuff because they're up here and having fun with me, and it's good to know what the result of their labors are. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next one. While I'm getting our next volunteer, I'm going to tidy up a little bit. So, you know what? I forgot to ask you what your Halloween memory was. Okay, I guess I'll ask you next time. You can go ahead and tell me. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so the other Halloween memory that I have was there was a mean guy in our neighborhood who always hated. See, we were very persistent. My father taught us to go, be strong, go. So we'd be out trick-or-treating until 10:30, 11 o'clock, knocking on people, sometimes around 10:30. And sometimes they'd answer the door, "What are you doing here? It's 10:30 at night." "Well, we want more candy, sir." So that's something we always try to get more stuff and have more candy. So we have our last volunteer. If we'd give a round of applause for Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda.
Chef.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is the first time I've ever met you. You're a guest of a guest.
Yes, I am.
Who I have cooked for. And then Barb actually was the first person that's ever been on the show that I haven't cooked for. But we're going to change that. And then we're stretching it with you because you're a guest of a person that we cook for. So now that's the camera
Okay.
that we're going to be looking at. Hello, say hello, camera.
Hello, camera.
Can you nod? Hello, there you go. Okay. So your stuff's right there. Bring that tray over here. And we're going to be cooking a tombstone pudding. And this is like so simple. This is absolutely so simple.
And I love pudding.
Yeah. So this will be your hand sanitizing right here. Now, remember, the lights are changing. That light just went off. This light just went on.
Okay.
Follow the light.
That doesn't sound like a good thing to do.
No, you'll make it. You really will. You really will. So we're up here right now. So what we want you to do is take these wonderful Milano cookies
Okay.
and take the tip off of that, and you're going to write R.I.P. Last time I heard that meant
Is the
rest
tip-
in peace. Yeah, the tip's off.
Okay.
So grab it kind of like this.
Okay.
And go R.I.P. There's your
Okay.
example.
Okay, gotcha.
Your hands aren't shaking at all, are they?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll just check.
Gotta squeeze hard, don't you, though?
Yep. R.I. and then P. Rest in peace. So let's do 2 more of those because we want the audience afterwards to try this. R.
Oh, that wasn't a very good R.
Let's see. No, that wasn't very good. That's okay. Do you agree, camera? Wasn't that good? Shake your head no like that. Can you go like that? No? No. Okay. Okay, one more, R.I.P. Another one could be what? Not rest in peace and goodbye, we never liked you anyway. All kinds of things we could put on the tombstone. So, okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to line up those little things on this thing right here. So let's go ahead and put one in each back of the,
Like a...
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go. Okay. Perfect. Now, since your hands are sanitized, take a donut and crunch it all up and make that the dirt in front of the gravestone. Just crumble it. Squeeze, squeeze, crush, crush,
The whole
squeeze.
thing?
Yeah.
In there?
Yes, the whole thing. I am not a shy chef.
I can tell.
Hello.
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 Hi.
See the little rest in pieces? Aren't they cute?
They're
Rest
adorable.
in peace. And that is it. That's it. Now you could use different kind of donuts if you wanted to. Or I'm not going to go there. Okay. Well, let's give Ron a round of applause. Thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you,
out.
Chef.
Appreciate it. All right. One of the things that we really truly believe is a little bit different with our cooking show is that we're the only cooking show where the chef doesn't cook, and I haven't found another show anywhere where the chef doesn't cook. And we also are the only cooking show that I've ever found where we have a wine steward that pairs wine with the food that was prepared on the show. So that's kind of cool, and we're kind of really proud of that. George Willicott is our wine steward for our company called Kneedachef, and we specialize in gourmet dinners in people's homes, and George is a big part of our team. He pairs wine with all the food that I make. So let's give George a round of applause. Please come on up, George.
Chef?
Have I cooked for you? Yes, I have. Been cooking for you for 5 years. Let me get this out of your way, George. There we go.
We have a little fun tonight. As you know from our previous shows, we always try to promote our Indiana wines. So tonight we're doing a winery that is actually based out of Indianapolis. Most people are familiar with their Reggae Red and their Reggae White. This is Easley Winery. They've released a new rosé, which is very fruity. This is a Concord base.
Thank you. I always get the first glass. Always.
Somebody's got to test.
The job, that's the benefit of owning your own business. You can drink on the job and no one can say anything.
But one of the nice things about a fruity or a sweet red or white is that it goes very well with spicy food. So with our soup tonight, which has got a little spice to it, we would normally kick it up a notch, maybe add a little red pepper flakes or a sriracha sauce. You want something to be a counterpoint to that. So a sweet wine, be it red or white, is a nice counterpoint to that spiciness.
Now, would you consider this wine, since it's so sweet, would you call it a semi-sweet or would you call it a full sweet?
No, this is a full sweet.
And then what percent sugar would this have?
Okay, when we talk about sweetness, we're talking about residual sugar. In this particular case, we're talking probably 8 or 9%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start talking about dry wines and you're talking about less than 3%, or really dry reds, or champagne wines like Brut or Extra Dry, we're into almost 0%. So when you look at that kind of a scale, 8% residual sugar is quite sweet.
This tastes like grape juice.
It does.
And pure grape juice you fed your
pure
kids.
Concord grape juice.
Wow.
This is the one we've had on our show before. This is a Tremonette. Tremonette is basically a hybrid. This was developed right here in Indiana in about 1964. It's a hybrid between a Seville, which is a French grape, and the Gewürztraminer, which is a German grape, and probably the only time that German and French ever got together.
Say Gewürztraminer 3 times really quickly. Gewürztraminer, Gewürztraminer, Gewürztraminer. I just did.
The Gewürz is basically a cousin to our Riesling, but it has a little spiciness to it. And this pairs up really well with your veggie tray. That's good. But
The last.
last but not least, unfortunately, we couldn't find one that really matches up with chocolate. But so we had to stretch our wings a little bit and fly to California. This is a California Red. This is a Merlot from Napa Valley. I like Merlots because they have a cocoa-like finish to them, and they pair really well with any kind of chocolate dessert.
What's the name of the wine, dear George?
And in part with our season, it's called Vampire. In fact,
Vampire.
And in fact, the winery is also called Vampire Winery in Napa Valley.
So would this be considered, how would you describe the nose on this wine? Very pointy and bloody, since Dracula always has a pointy.
Very sharp.
Very sharp?
Now, Merlots though have a very prominent raspberry and bosenberry type flavor to them, and the nose reflects that. So think of the hard raspberry candies we find at Christmas time. That would be your typical bouquet from a Merlot. You have that.
And how are the legs on this wine, George?
Legs referring to the alcohol content. This is probably around 13.5%.
In 20 seconds, explain to the audience what legs are and what they mean.
All right. Legs is the residual sugar that is part of the alcohol that when you swirl a wine in your glass and that you have that coating that coats and just dribbles down the sides, that's referred to as legs. The higher the alcohol, the longer the legs will be on that wine. And so they'll coat the side of your glass much more than something that's lower in alcohol. You like that one?
Yes, I do. Chefy likey. And would this be considered a flabby wine?
No,
This is not flabby?
no.
In 10 seconds, tell the audience what flabby means.
All right, 10
seconds.
seconds. Flabby is a wine that has a thickness to it on the tongue. So you have wines that would be very lean, so they're just kind of race off. And we have wines that are what I refer to as flabby wines, which are thick, almost like cough syrup.
Okay. And I like to invite, we always close the show the same way, so I'd like to invite my lovely wife of 32 years, Jennifer. She's the wind beneath my wings. I don't deserve her.
No.
She does our sets. In addition to doing all of our books for our business and being our server, she also decorates tables for our business, beautiful tablescapes that we do, beautiful candles and centerpieces. But that she also has a lot of fun with the set. So I want to thank you, honey, for doing a nice job tonight. Okay. So we'll be back next time for another show. And as I always say, I want you to live well. I want you to be well. But most of all, I want you to eat well. Good night.
Right.
Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I want to thank our national sponsors as well as our great local sponsors, and as always, of course, the great staff down here at the studio. Join me next time when I'll show you what to do with those doggone Thanksgiving leftovers. See you next time on Chef Eric's Cookin'.